create. If you look at the concentration of the current constituencies in Parliament, you have about 66 constituencies in areas or provinces that you regard generally as UPND strongholds. And those like Eastern, Muchinga, Northern Wapula have very fewer constituencies if you take away the urban provinces of Kwabet and Lusaka. So the argument that these provinces received favoritism from previous leaders in terms of how constitutions were created is actually the other way around. If each of them must pronounce himself here, is to thank the predecessors before him, who made sure that by structure, the region where he comes from has more concentration of constituencies than the other side where he claimed that his predecessors were favored. Even the last set of constituencies to be created, which were created in 2016, there were about 6. If you look at those 6 where they are located, they are in the UPND stronghold. There was Ufumu in Central Province. That's the problem that has generally voted for the UPND. Then you have Sinda in Eastern Province, you have Chembe in Ruapula, you have Nkeema and Sioma in Western Province, and Chirundu in the Southern Province. So 4 of the 6 are actually UPND strongholds, for example. How is it possible for the president then to stand up and make a claim that the previous exercises were discriminated when actually the region that has benefited greatly in terms of constituency concentration is the region where he comes from? So that's why I'm saying that this delimitation is a good thing if it's not politicized. But the important thing at the first step towards transparency is to publish the report, to say, here is the report that was generated by the PF in 2019, and here's what they say. Why are they hiding that report? It's almost as if they want to doctor it. I can release it today, for example, because I'm on side of it. But I'm waiting to see if when they release it, we would have doctored it so they can tell them. I'm sure even the PF who generated it and the officials at the time can come up and say, no, but that's not what was recommended in the report. The correct thing for the government to do is first, you get the implementation report out, give it to the people, and let the people decide and discuss to say, no, Mandela is too big. We want it to be delimited. But if you're just focusing on Chongo, on Kafue, on Kanyama, I'm told they want to make Kanyama, Makeni East and Makeni West, on Chilanga, for example, then people start thinking, why are you picking these provinces that look like these are provinces that where the UPND is going to do well? Why are you leaving out Lusaka Central? Why are you leaving out Mandela? Why are you leaving out Matero? Why are you leaving out the constituencies? So many of the people that need to be limited or others elsewhere. That's why it's very, very central that the government should be transparent in this matter by making sure that they release that report as the first step towards generating a national conversation on the kind of delimitation exercise that should take place.
Prominent historian Dr. Shio, thank you so much for making the time to.
Okay, guys, how are you? Munishani, greetings. How's everybody? Yeah, one thing. As usual, we are here, guys. We are here. We are here, guys. Mulishani. A lot is going on. But yeah, we are here, guys. Turipano. We need to take a deep breath. But Isaac Mulishani. But Isaac, thank you for the likes. Power tap. A lot is going on, guys. A lot is going on. I don't even have much to say. Bill 7 is back in Parliament. Bill 7 is back in Parliament. The tensions are rising. Oh my God. So anyway, call people too. Let's chat and just wrap our heads around everything that's going on. You know. Wafia Mwandindi. Wafia. Tensions. Ama tensions are high. Akuna kulala. Mutukuzi. Wemwana. Good evening. Everybody tuku mulishani. Mwandiri na ikosa. Na ikosa. Oh, na ikosa. Mwewe na Zambia. Kukosa hapa. Yafika parishani huko. My tensions, I'm a BP. The tensions are rising in this country. It's very antagonistic. And the problem is, you know, the executive is part of the tension. This is the problem. The executive, chimonomu fiashimwaishwa. Our executive, ever fiashiva chalo. The executive is the fatherhood of the nation. So they should not be part of this tension. They should be calming the situation down. Wamona. Executive ngana ifumamo muri fifide chitika, but executive ever front and center in these brewing tensions, muchalo. Executive is in the front and center. Power tap, mwebantu. Iseni, share. Share, guys. Even if it seems like there is no way, there is always a way. But there is always a way. God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He's Luyolwim. You know, I don't have a singing voice, but, you know, God will make a way where there seems no way, you know. He works in ways we cannot see. Remember that song, Don Moyen? So we are a Christian nation, and we are standing on the word of God. We are praying that God makes a way, and it is darkest before dawn. That's what, you know, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. It is darkest before dawn, you know. Elohim fula. Atishani infula ichitashani. Infula pa inga yona ula pa, you know, before the end of the rainy season, Elohim fula yisa idea ikarisana. Infula idea say ikarisana nishiri mukuya. So by UPND, they are like that rain, that storm that came to destroy everything on the way out. And Zambia is going to experience a calm. The calm is coming when Zambia. The calm is coming. We are in a dark spot right now. We are experiencing that storm. Ile storm ile mfure isapatia ile shikura na ifimuti. Ile shikura na mana na CDF classroom ya mandogo yo bakula. Ile senda kam diba UPND. Bale sende na kumonefyo bale ita na ifima class yosefe ifya mandogo bale fishikura. This is the storm we are passing through. We are passing through this storm which UPND has created in our country. And when this storm passes, there shall be calm in the country. There shall be peace and calm. So we are not supposed to panic. This is a lesson. Everything that happens in the world repeats itself. This is a lesson. Mwevena Zambia, let's not despair. Let's not fret. Let's hold on to the God's word, God's promise. Zambia is a Christian nation. Nothing will break us. Nothing will shake us. Even that storm which is being brewed by UPND, we will pass. That storm is passing. Matter of fact, it has already passed. It is on the way out. It is the kicks of the dying horse. Yes, it is the storm that was insulting priests. It's part of the storm. Yeah? The storm UPND have created, even using a state house to insult men of God, Catholic bishops. How long have this UPND, how long are they going to continue insulting our Catholic bishops? How long? Mwali Teta called the Bishop Lucifer. The other time, Kachinga and Pachilo Chabana, they locked them out of their church. And now they go to State House to insult Catholic bishops at State House. And then I see Siyazozo. I'm going to play Siyazozo's tape right now, what he said about the Catholic bishops. And whatever Siya0 is saying, I say, you know, Siya1, just shut up and sit down. Because in a panopondi, and I invite you to my house. I'm a Catholic priest. Catholic priest. If we don't learn that, stop. Don't say that. You can't say that here. After all, panopen page, you people who are always with me, if somebody comes, I correct them. I say, no, you can't say that. That's not right. No, that's not. I correct people on my page. Some I even drop them and remove them. Now, how can he? Waita mama supporter bobe kunganda kumwebambo kutukana. I'm a Catholic bishop. Elo from there, mwambo kulalanda that yo pariani gonse abaishire balelanda ma opinion yabo. No. Techuise mkulanda ama opinion yo beya kutukana ma Catholics. Panganda pamwandi. Ine shikukalipiro ron shikuleseshe. The moment that happens, it means I am a andefisuminisha. Is all I can say. So if the GRZ Robahaka Inde does not want to be included in this fight, let him denounce that person who insulted the priests. Because he was doing it Panganda Pamwa State House. You cannot entertain hooligans coming to insult Catholic bishops on your property. Elo from there, Siya1 ese mkulandati ichiramuntu ni opinion ya kalandire opinion yo bepanganda pamobi. Tetu wise panganda pamwandi wise mkulanda opinion iya kusalula ama bishops. Elo wise ulandati ni opinion yakwe. No, it doesn't work like that. You invite people to your house. If they do something wrong, you correct them. If you don't correct them, it means you are part and parcel of that. Let me just place here one for Chilaland.
Respect the Catholic. Indeed. Respect the Catholic. UPND President Akainde Chilema. Respect the Catholic. I, Prophet Siya1, respect the Catholic. People that came to a State House, or people that went to State House and gave out their views, they gave their personal views. Their views does not represent UPND. People we are called to come and make submission. Submission will come in different angles. Remember, People are coming from different churches, different political parties, different organizations, and they are giving different views. If anyone insulted the Catholic Church, that is not President Hakainde Hichilema's stand. President Hakainde Hichilema respects the Catholic Church. Why not? The Catholic Church has been there for the people. Catholic Church has been there for us. Catholic Church has been there for the poor. When we were in opposition, the Catholic Church was the loudest voice that spoke for us. So because of that, UPND respect the Catholic Church. People gave their different view, different submission on different matters. But at the end of the day, the truth remains that President Hakainde Hichilema valued the Catholic Church. And President Hakainde Hichilema will never insult the Catholic Church. People's personal view is not the party's view. People's personal view is not the president's view. People's personal view is not our view. People gave their different submission according to their own experiences. In all, UPND appreciate the Catholic, and UPND will forever dialogue with the Catholic. UPND will never go into war with the.
So, mom, for that is CR1. Number one, CR1 is not a government official. He is just actually a party member. He's a cadre of UPND. He is not a government official. That's number one. And then number two, Philadelphia Chikeku State House, it was a government program. It wasn't even a social gathering by UPND. No. It was an official program of the government where the technical committee and all the supporters of the Bill 7 went there to gather and give their view. So what they were saying there, it was in an official capacity in the presence of the president. So now, how can CR1 start saying at yo, but ku State House, it was their personal view. It is your personal view, yes, but you were at an official government function. So everything you have to follow protocols. All protocols observed. You can't go there and start disrespecting the Catholic bishops and get away with it with CR1 Ekada saying that was his personal opinion. No. If it can be his personal opinion, if he was not at a government function, that was a government function where the president was there, and it was an official function. So CR1, it is also, I also respect his opinion to come and say the president does not respect Catholic. Now, new opinion ya kwa CR1. That is also an opinion for CR1. But let's be factual here. CR1 tatwa mwikate pakanwa na kwa tensa mbuya kulanda ukweba he respects the Catholic na ba president respects the Catholic. Iyo ni nsambu yabo. But coming to the national matters, that function here at Chikaku State House is a national issue. And the president or the people there, the officers, kwalama protocol officers kuliaku State House, ngabali mwikata uyo wale tukana ma bishops, ba mulesha no kumulesha. Batana apologize apopeni. You know. The protocol officer there during that function should have come right there, stop that person to say, no, let's control the situation. We as a government and the president as a person respect the Catholics and withdraw those insults. We didn't see it. But instead, tulemona kada, international kada, eulela that the president respects Catholic. Okay, he can talk, yes, it's his opinion. But you know what? Zambia cannot be ruled from outside of the country. CR1 has no right from wherever he is, Nigeria, to be making statements on behalf of President Hakainde Hichilema. What kind of a country is Zambia where umuntu abaku Nigeria ale pangama statement to clear the president's name? What is happening to the secretary to the cabinet? This is a job of the secretary to the cabinet, or even to, I don't know, ama protocol structures Zambia. Those are the people who should be coming and correcting the situation, doing damage control for the insults ushered on the Catholic Church. It is not in Siawan's place to make a video to do damage control. In what capacity? Mwebena Zambia shibukeni. Mulefikana no kufikana fimo. Tell this man to stay in his lane kulia kuchalo chakwe. How can he take a camera and a mic or come on camera and start making an apology for the president? So is it mean that that's why people are saying Zambia is a failed state? Apapo tule ndela Zambia is a failed state. If a foreigner Nigeria can come and make a statement on behalf of the president to say the president will not fight with the Catholic, the president whatever, it was his own view. It can't be your own view. Inomote chese panganda pano aisa mkutukana about Catholic. Kutna mutatena no na kama na pama kufine mwini. To apologize to the Catholics to say, please forgive us. Or the Mwadama protocols, Mujiarazed, secretary to the cabinet, he should have the one saying that apology or making that clarification. Instead of Siawan Kuchalo Kumwako Kwad. Zambia, we are in a failed state. How can Siawan be making a statement about insulting the Catholics from his country, from Nigeria? Is Siawan part of the Zambian government? When Siawan is a criminal, Techese Muzambia, he was deported. Siawan can never come back to Zambia because of a criminal record why he was deported from Zambia. So how can such a person who has a criminal record be the one to be making statements from Kuchala Kumako Mutambi? Ingani credible person, is a credible person. But this guy, he was deported from Zambia. He has a criminal record. He can never come back to Zambia. And today we can sit here and watch Siawan from Kuchalo Kumwabo clearing the president's name. What a shame. What a shame. If the president didn't support Uria, he should use the government protocols to clear the name and make peace with the Catholic Church. This tension has been brewing between the UPND government with the Catholic Church for a long time. They started calling the bishop a Lucifer. From then on, I think in the Pachiro Chavana Wakwi, they blocked them to enter the church. They locked them out. Until now, people are saying all kinds of crazy things, disrespecting the Catholic Church. And now to hear Siawan, who is not even a Zambian, who is not part of government, to start clearing the president's name and clearing the government's name out mwabaya sana ba UPND mwaya sana mwebena Zambia shibukeni. That's why tutula na tichalo limbibadi shitisha imwena mwikala bale mirandira kuba kufyalo fimbi ebale mirandira. Why can't this UPND government use the officers in the government to clear this tension that is brewing between the Catholic Church and UPND government? Why does Siawan have to talk? So Siawan now is a spokesperson for Bahaka Indi. Is a Siawan a spokesperson for Bahaka Indi? What kind of nonsense is this? It is nonsense, and we shall not sit here and watch nonsense be conducted. Not we can. Why should Siawan Kulabika ishi akano kaba president mukano muma? In what capacity? It's too much. It is too much. Hello, Bill7 hii nenga ya pita mukamona. Uyawine Siawan ukaba spokesperson. Waba UPND. You'll be hearing government policies coming out. Chakala fumaku Nigeria. Imamwewe na Zambia na mwikala. Siawan onechita announce ama government policies. this Bill 7 should not see the day of light. It has entered in Parliament today. Na ingira in Parliament Bill 7. Na ingira. But to learn it boils down to the members of Parliament. You members of Parliament do the right thing. You did not go to Parliament. Muland wat fumo tuenu. Mule poke MP ya uko naula democracy yesu. Mushti shechalo muland wat fumo tuenu. Ba MP. Some of us, we are already set. But our kachula is our children and our grandchildren. People are already suffering now. Imagine what will happen to our children and our grandchildren with the situation in Echtikanum. Mone any selective justice, udia Ethel chisono udia. People have insulted people, worse things. But how can on one account? Now mukaka on account iya kutungana feba HH. Mukaka 1 year 6 months, 18 months. Ethel chisono is in on one account 1 year 6 months. On one number kwete 4 accounts of hate speech. Na sedition peka. So we are looking at Ethel may be spending 5 years in jail. Because on one account, Bamukaka, how many years over Bamukaka? Kutukana feba haka inde 1 year 6 months. Now kwata 3 other hate speech charges. Naina baka mupingula. Elo baka ise mupingula na sedition. But okay, Ethel wale tukana. But Tulelanda, Chibabibala Tukanabam UPND, they are not facing the same law that opposition is facing. So Ibiu 7 ingayapita and then never fear. Monenefio bale chita, mwema MPs twami papata. Members of parliament do not sell the country. Na mwema pokede mpia 13, shiwe sheni mpia shem. Mukabika Zambia muma problems. Already by the constitutional judges, we were coming to a year since Lungu was declared ineligible last December. Those constitutional judges who ruled that Lungu should be ineligible thought they were doing a right thing. They were feeding into this monster of creating one-party state. Bahaka Indena and his team, they want to be invincible. They want to be in power forever, but they have failed to deliver. So they sit down and make all these plans to legalize crime so they can overstay in power. And I was just listening to our Dr. Shua here. Mweba lipa TikTok, we were listening together. Mweba lipa TikTok, tuachila umfida pamu. And it was sure that, you know, even if it's a law, a wrong thing being a law doesn't make it correct. Slavery was a law. Kwali ama law zayalevika bantu mubushia. But it didn't make it right. Kwali apartheid huko South Africa. It didn't make it right. It was still illegal. If you corrupt MPs to make wrong laws, it will never be right. There will come a time when people will rise and fix those wrongs you are trying to do now. So we are just appealing to the MPs to say, Mwema MPs, do not sign bad laws into law. Do not sign on bad laws. Mone ni South Africa, kwali apartheid, yali ma laws yala mafundi. Na Mozambia mwine mwadi ya mafundi under colonialism. It was a law. But it was a bad law. And the time came, we got independence. People are moving to improving lives. They are not dwelling on making laws that are going to oppress people further. So the last buck stops at these members of parliament. Tuami papa, tamwema members of parliament, do the right thing. Because even if you pass this law, it's just a matter of time. The whole country has risen. The consortium of opposition presidents wrote a letter, which I comment, a little bit too late, because the opposition presidents were supposed to write that letter before the Oasis Foundation. This fight against Bill 7 is supposed to be led by opposition presidents and not by the Oasis Forum. That's why the Catholic bishops are being insulted because we have been let down by you, opposition presidents who have been quiet. You should be in the forefront fighting this Bill 7. But you are letting things lie. You are lying low. You opposition presidents, you are lying low. That's why Oasis Forum has stepped up. And in the process, bishops are being insulted because of you by opposition. You have failed. Although you have come today, it's a little bit too late. You have joined this fight when the tensions are high. Bishops being insulted. I was on Diamond TV the other day listening to Mama Katebe. Her phone was cut from nowhere. I have to blame the opposition presidents because this is their fight. When Hakainde was fighting Bill 10, he just received support. When UPND was in opposition, they were in the forefront fighting Bill 10. And then he received support from the Oasis Foundation. But this time, it is the Oasis Foundation, and then the opposition presidents are coming in palace. What is that? Eh? These opposition presidents, they are supposed to be in the front and center. Opposition MPs, they are supposed to be in the front and center. Because they are the one who are supposed to sign that law. It's already in parliament, Yuko. Sign Tema MPs, nobody quiet. But they were number one endorsing a fellow MP for presidency. But their job in parliament is not to go and endorse each other for presidency. Their job is to make sure good laws are passed. But when they are now challenged to come and stand up for the right thing, sign an agreement to reject Bill 7, they can't do it. But they did. The 29 MPs got up and signed an agreement publicly by Isapa camera. We are endorsing MP so and so for president. They did it. Now what is stopping them from rejecting this Bill 7? You know, these MPs will be held accountable, the whole lot of them. The whole lot of them. We are not going to miss our words. Mwema MPs, because the ball is in your court. You know, you saw how the UPND MPs behaved when they were in opposition. What's stopping the current opposition MPs behaving how the UPND MPs behaved? What is stopping them? Eh? Icharo Johnson Achima. Literally. The whole world has literally come against this Bill 7. Meanwhile, the people who should defend it are the MPs. They should be in the front line. The opposition MPs and opposition presidents should be in the front line to fight this battle. To drop Bill 7. Eh? We shall call you out, and in history, I am not attacking anyone. I'm just saying the opposition MP, this is their fight. If fight Bill 7 is a fight for opposition MPs. The same way when Bill 10 was there, it was a fight for UPND MPs and opposition presidents. We are not going to miss Tamasambire Imilandwishi kuri ba Oasis Foundation. Tabafolelapo. You MPs, you get hefty allowances and salaries and gratuities to do your job there. ama MPs mulafolela poninchto yenu inai Monica. But these people, Oasis Foundation is just volunteering. I am also volunteering. But you MPs mulafolela poninchto yenu, you are supposed to be in the front and center defending the constitution. But where are you, my MPs? Murikui sama MPs. Let them move forward with a bad law, but it shall be repealed. Because everyone is saying the constitution is supposed to be people-driven. But this constitution is executive-driven. That's why even the technical committee went to State House to hand it over. To hand over the report, they went to State House. So, it confirms that it is executive-driven. Because if this Bill 7 was people-driven, ngabachia mu parliament to hand over. But this bill is illegal. Whichever way you slice it, it is illegal. Nanguinga Peter forward. Many evil things have gone forward, but they have been retracted. Okay? So you can chant there to say forward, forward. Takuda ko chireya chikapona. Chikapona because it's evil. I just said here that it is darkest before dawn. Infula paku ya iro na ula soba UPND apa. They are trying to destroy a lot of things because they are on their way out. If UPND was a government to stay, they would be building this country and not destroying it. It's just common sense. If UPND were a party to build ichalo chesu, ngabale chitefi suma, ngatule sekela pa Christmas we will be celebrating. Balungu ngakale tuashika. If UPND meant well, we'll be celebrating right now. And cheering UPND to stay in power for the next 50 years. How can a government who is load shedding people 22 hours say paka 29? Newole rumba. Bali mi pela madu as I say bonse. Bongo bongo yari fuwa do as I say. Uya winenga alanda finish chapa bonse ni kula subina yes. We are moving forward. Yes, Bill 7. Do as I say ile bomba. Because Zambia we've changed governments. Lungu's government was changed because of 4 hours load shedding. Number arantola no mukchubare suminishati yes. 2090 yes. Mule kwatama light 2 hours in a day. Do as I say imumitwe mumienu. We come cancel and decree and declare Holy Ghost fire on any do as I say formula. Pamitwe shenu. Mweba alala tamulabuka muni ma do as I say. Do as I say ile mibombera mumitwe mumienu. We cancel the spirit of do as I say. Eile bomba do as I say takulina fimbi. Ngole tarika. Now, the answer is there. We cancel any do as I say. Mu cancel do as I say. Muleke no kula mukonko muntu ushtishotu botolo what do as I say. O mulekonga. Vale mibika mukabotolo kali yakere do as I say. Fefine feo alanda na imumwa umfuira. You te baka inde baita baka tolika. Who are you? You are not a Zambian. You are not a government representative. You are even speaking from your own country after being deported from Zambia. There is no more women in parliament. It's a hoax. That proportional representation is actually limiting women. We already have a clause in the current constitution, Article 45(1)(d), where it says equity, gender equity in parliament. It means if there are 51%, the population of Zambia is 51%, we must have 51% women in parliament. If the population of youth is 70%, we have to have 70% in parliament. So you don't understand all these things. They are taking that bill, whatever, Article 45(1)(d), to make it sound that more women in parliament when they are reducing. Because according to that bill, Bill 7, only 20 women will be in parliament. Now, according to gender equity balance, we are supposed to have 51%. 51% of even just 156. It's about we need to have, like right now, if they were following the constitution right now, we need to have over 80 women in parliament because it's equity. That is what the current constitution says, gender equity in parliament. There is no gender equity in parliament, and they chose not to appoint women for the race, for MPs. So, they patch more women in parliament, 20. They're actually, this gender thing, proportional representation, they're actually reducing the number of women. They are making we women and the youths and the disabled, we are called the marginalized population, and we are the majority in the country. Let me explain to you, if you have a smartphone, pull up Zambia Constitution, Article 45 1D. It clearly says all these elected positions, MP, councillor, it's supposed to be gender equity. And gender equity means you have those positions based on the population. Why don't they happen is because the men dominate. They don't practice what is in the constitution equally. The misinformation is you people telling people that 20 MPs is increasing women in parliament. No, this problem is not only a UPND problem. It's been a problem for all the governments who have ruled Zambia. It's a problem of UNIP. It is a problem of MMD and the PF. If all these political parties followed the constitution and promoted the gender equity, they would make sure that all the seats in parliament are matching to the population percentages. My dear, I studied Bill 7 in and out. Before people were talking about Bill 7, I was here talking. So the tapatechi umbepe pali Bill 7. I have the constitution here. This is the constitution. I was studying Bill 7 night and day. So tapari wingambepe. Bill 7 inali printer no printer waimona. Tapari na misinformation. Nema article, iwe siya. Nema article. Nema article. Ine ninkudungwire. Yo ine olela ndapo ya more women. It's article 45 1D. And it says gender equity. Gender equity is having the parliament filled based according to the population. So if the population of Zambia, 51% is women, we are supposed to have 51 women, 51% women in parliament right now. And all these governments have not done that. It's not only a thing about UPND. Don't make it political. Let's discuss issues and debate to see how we can move forward and change the problems we are facing in Zambia. Otherwise, this gender, if you believe your proportional representation, it will add more women. Yes, it will add more women compared to what we have now. If they are going to increase what we have now, we have less than 10 women, so bika per 20, but still more, they need to go to 51%. They need to have at least 80 women in parliament. And if we go to 211, according to this new Bill 7, they need to have more than 107 female MPs in parliament. That is a gender equity, not if you are me. You can't lie to me. I have the thing here. I have it printed and I can go online and check. So the Bill 7 is a hoax. First of all, the delimitation, they haven't even produced the delimitation report. They have not. So how do they insist, we are going ahead, we are going ahead? You are going ahead with what? Tell us the constituencies you want to delimit? They have not told us. They have not told us the constituencies they want to delimit. Why? If they are genuine, would they tell us? Why are they refusing to produce the delimitation report? Why? Now I'm going to. I went into Chat GPT. Chat GTP. I just typed the number of constituencies in Zambia and the population of each province, so the information came up. Now, we'll just take Lusaka for example. Lusaka province, we have 12 constituencies, but the population is 3 million people. 12, Mwamona. 12 constituencies, population is 3 million for Lusaka province. And then to Sende, Copper Belt, we have how many constituencies? 22 constituencies in Copper Belt. Double, almost double Lusaka. But the population Copper Belt is much lower than Lusaka. Then to send the Western Province. Send then if you're Western Province has 20 constituencies. But the population is 1.3. Mwamona. Elonga Tolorisha Southern, they have 19 constituencies. Population is 2.3. Southern Province has more constituencies than Lusaka. Which Lusaka, which has 1 million people more. So this delimitation, naturally fishila. Bale amkucha delimit. Kudio kushaba abantu mamona. Bale wonfia land mass to delimit instead of population. Because in Gabafuiro conquer population to delimit, they must go to south, like Lusakan province, where there are 3 million people and only 12 constituencies. Lusaka should be delimited because Kulifye 12 constituencies and 3 million people. Another place that should be delimited is Central Province. Central Province, 14 constituencies, almost 2.5 million people. So Central Province should be delimited, and maybe Copper Belt, I think. Copper Belt, yes. So Central, Lusaka na Copper Belt ilefwaikwa. Otherwise, in Gakukonka, Southern Province has got 19 versus 2.3. Elonga Mwakonkanya for Southern Province, the population is almost the same. Southern and Central, the population is almost the same. But Southern has got 5 more constituencies. So Central Province, Lunda 5. If we are gonna go by population base. Yep. So now Ikaba, let them produce the delimitation report. Otherwise, cool about. I'm done, guys. If you want to join in and say something, but if into Ziviri Bueno, but we are here, guys. It is darkest before dawn, and Bill 7 will fall. Bill 7 must fall. Emperor. It is on the MPs. Ama MPs, you didn't go there to start supporting each other, to become more interested in presidency than in making sure that bad laws don't pass. I'm saying this because these MPs, they were first to endorse another MP for presidency. No, but did with these MPs, were they chosen to go to parliament to start choosing presidents, or their main job is to guard the constitution? If you don't have a problem with the MPs, me, I do. Because I'm a MP echo to abasalire. Kuya mkuchita protect constitution. But I'm a MP ababali komupale bali mu opposition. They were number 1 to endorse their fellow MP to become president. But balefro kuchita statement to reject the Bill 7. A bone of contention kwete na ma MPs in. That is my bone of contention, because they are failing to issue a statement to reject Bill 7. If you ever endorse a fellow MP, they endorsed a fellow MP. No one asked them. No mbapanai kaba umushinamu kaba Bill 7, but ama MPs very quiet. Amashina yare fumoko. Amashina yare fumoko ati ababadi MP bali quiet ama MPs. Alamwandi ni chicharonga chaba pamuliro. These MPs in opposition will be responsible. Me personally, Parwandifi, I will hold these MPs responsible. Chimono kabatu mwana wa mperefu, mwero wa mkufuaya tu uperefu mwana ni nani. Efyo mkachitapani ba MP haba. I will hold them responsible if this bill passes, because they have failed to take a firm stand against it. Because when it was Bill 10, the UPND MPs took a firm stand. So why can these PF MPs take a firm stand against Bill 7? When that list, if these people who have received about 3 million, there are even people from Eastern betraying their president, who is not even buried. I am just like, oh my God, these people, are they serious? The ministers, the MPs from Eastern Province, 5 of them betrayed by ECO Muchitumbi. Tabala bashika no kubashika balungu muleba kita betray mwampoka ma 3 million mweba ku Eastern. Mwandini. Where is your loyalty? 5 MPs betraying ECO Muchitumbi bali ya ma 3 million. ECO tabala shika no kushika. What a shame. Anyway, I'm done talking, guys. Chuwalande Fifi. Kuchuwalande Fifi. Bagsi. We know what tamatwika te pakanwa. Tamatwika te pakanwa. Mwema MPs. You know, of all the people, abachire betray as a country. Ichin karipe nibali ama MPs 5 yaba ku Eastern Province aba pokele ama 3 million ibena nibali na chinkaripa, because they have betrayed balungu ni kumwabo kudya. Balungu ko bafuma kudya ni kumyabo nomba abantu 5 bakita betray balungu muchitumbi. Lungu is not even buried, but they have taken 3 million. Farmers are not paid, they are crying. Babu MP, ama MPs ku Eastern Mwandini na mpapshe $1. I end there. Ubutulie mububi. It's so sad what is happening once. Hello, daughter of King Jesus. Yeah, I'm quiet. Nabisama. Simuni ona. Nga manje. Okay, cash ni phone enufi. It's just your phone. So Bill 7 is in Parliament, so meaning they are ready to go and vote, but everybody has said it. It's an illegal bill. Constitutional Court threw it out. You know. She turned mute to a daughter of Zion. So the Constitutional Court threw out this Bill 7. We don't know why the president even went ahead and appointed the technical committee. That technical committee is illegal because once the Bill 7 was thrown out, the president should not even have constitution and technical committee. And then the technical committee too, it was full of praise singers, you know. It was not inclusive. Basically, the president was hand-picking people to go in this technical committee. The executive has pushed this as a personal bill of the executive. That's why it's being rejected. If this bill was inclusive from the beginning, if people were invited to participate, people cannot reject it. They would embrace it. You know? People would have embraced this bill if it was people driven. Mwamona. Basi shuwa bachilalanda. He gave a good example. But the process, you know. And this is one thing which the Oasis said to the process. Bill 7. And the Dr. Chisishua said that as a man, wamona fi omwana kashati ndekupa. Wayabulo mwana wabene wamupa by power by force. No. It's a process. Even to get married is a process. You know. You have to make the connection between the man and the woman. You see the man, you see the woman. You agree first. I like you, I like you. Okay, can we get married? Okay. Mufire masuminishanya babiri uko pakuingira marriage. The man and the woman must agree. Na paku tutubale tuise. Nomba umwa umekutia kumanya fe pamusebo mairo aisa alete mbale pakunganda kuli banuko. Na ba uswati ndekupa. Elonga wakana efe bale chitamu. What they are doing is forcing a young bride into a marriage. This is what they are doing. It's like forcing a young bride into a marriage. Umukashana tamutemenwe umwa ume ujabamu patikishe chupo efe bale fwa. They want Zambians to marry this Bill 7. I'm a Zambian Nabakana. We are going into this Bill 7 kicking and screaming. Zambians are kicking and screaming. Okay, now funyama comments. Can you see me now? Vale for kumbona pamenso. I'm past screening up and sulama comments. You can see me now. I took off the comments. Yeah. You know, I don't know once. I think Nindanda nafi fula kusuwa lufia nyokulanda. But the back stops at the MPs. The MPs, the PF actually wrote a memo. The PF wrote a memo, and I'm going to read it. It was posted on Emmanuel Mwamba's page, where they said, call your members of parliament and ask them how they are voting. for this Bill 7. So call your MPs. Call your MPs, people, and find out how they are voting. Actually, the president needs 111 MPs. He doesn't have the numbers. Call your members of parliament individually and ask them how they are voting. So, you call your MPs. The buck stops at the MPs. So, my MPs, but to me, my phone, my MP, move push. Because if I do ishiwe fi about 13, MP. We only know that 13 people have been received the money. So they have 89. So 89 plus 11 plus 13, that brings them to 89 plus 13. Yabaleta kuri 102. So 102, they need like 9. So they need 9 MPs. So. Yeah, so they need 9 MPs. Okay, ba Facebook twakulaisha pa TikTok apanga pali abalefo kujoina. They can join in on TikTok. Otherwise, for Facebook, thanks for joining in. We'll see you tomorrow. Katukabuka mailo. Karachitik. Kukosa. Bantu bali muma depression. People are depressed.
Wanimbikira cheku uononge chabe charo we muntu